Ultragear gaming monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series powered by JBL Quantum Gaming Headsets and AMD. I am CA, your host and caster for the day, joined by Rex Streams. We're in the first set of the winners bracket semifinals. So close now with just very few teams left in the tournament. We're just getting towards the end stages. What do you feel about our first match, God Particles versus GodSquad, Rex Streams?
Oh, so it's going to be really interesting game. We have seen great showings coming out from both teams to whatever, because they are right now over here. In their earlier game, God Squad beat Zeg with a 2-1 scoreline, and that's how they're here. And talking about God Particles, they had a 2-0 game over Peaky Blinders, and that's why we're here as well. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how we're gonna push how we see the series. Let's take a quick look at the maps that are going to be played in the series. They are going to be Bind, Split, and Ascent. Bind has obviously been picked by God Particles, who look to see how they can do on the map. And surprise, surprise, God Squad look to continue their domination on Split. And we'll end the series on Ascent, where where God Particles have picked the map, and where God Squad will begin on the defensive half.
So coming off the win versus Zeg, as you mentioned in the winners bracket quarterfinals, God Squad have to be on a high. The first map, I think, will be extremely clutch for the entire series altogether, because we know how good God Squad is on Split, right? If they get the win on Bind as well, it'll look very difficult to actually beat them on what is generally considered their home map. Without any further ado, though, let's get straight into the game and take a look at these compositions coming in from both teams. Very standard, with the exception of the Phoenix versus the Rays on the side of God Particles versus God Squad.
Ooh. Taking a look at the agent compositions, I'm a bit worried about how God Squad are coming into this, because they don't have a single agent that has a flashbang. There's no one in their team that'll help them, that you can use a flashbang to help them take the fight. That's gonna be really interesting to see how they play without the flashbangs. And God Particles though have the Phoenix for the flashbangs, which is gonna be, obviously gonna be helpful. Deathmaker holding in this U-lamp. We'll look at this 2-man push coming in from Hookah. That's already clear out the whole B side. They know it's a B hit. There comes the Raze nade. Does so much damage to him. Deathmaker will get him from the cave after Ember gets the kill onto him. Hellfighter falls on site as well. It's a 3v3 retake situation. The spike is now making its way through the B side from the teleporter. That's really interesting to see that. But there's one member on the flank, if I'm not wrong, that should be Rexy, who's flanking them in Hookah right now to get them off. He is going to be met with the Brimstone really close. Kappa making his way inside the B side. Elbow, does he know that there's two members holding a crossfire on him? This is really nice setup. There comes the Jiggle. That's going to confirm his presence. He gets caught with his arrow in his hand. Falls right back, throws in the shock dart, looking to see if he can connect any early round damage. That's not going to happen. Logista gets Rexy on the flank. Hoax gets Kappa as well. That leaves Hellranger in a 1v3 situation. The Cypher camera definitely spots him out, and Logista will get the kill onto him.
Used by God Particles to actually get the round one, because something I was looking to mention was that God Particles are missing one of their key players, their leading MVP player, and most importantly, their upholder in Knight Rider. So this is going to be a slightly more difficult matchup in general for them. But getting that first win in the first round of the matchup, absolutely huge for confidence and for the momentum. God Particles starting off really well. Now God Squad on the eco round, and as you mentioned, God Squad lacking that flashbang utility sort of to help them like take those corner fights much better. Opting for a bit more firepower with the detonator. Oh my god, the grenade will almost get a lot of damage, but they easily dodge it. And now they're going for a hard push down A side. The wall does come in from Sage with the Molotov on the other side to deny any sort of entry from Deathmaker. The spike will go down on A, but all members of GodSquad now slowly but surely closing in. Rexy will use his wall for a boost, try to pick somebody out. He finds one but ends up getting caught out. Shivi with another. Two-man lead for God Particles as they try to push this ground through. Deathmaker gets one with just the classic. Just sitting in the smoke and trying to catch people out. He's being so sneaky here. Steps back at the exact right time as a Mayor Sergeant gets one. Hoax gets another Ember CS. Finishes it off for a 2-0 lead for God Particles. And this is something that we have seen from GodSquad before. They tend to start a little slower. The issue is when they get the momentum, right? Because once they get the momentum, it seems like there is no stopping them.
Definitely, since you mentioned the aspect about the no flashbang Raze pick, Raze is one of the most popular picks on Bind because there's so many corners that you as a defender can hide on. Like taking a look at the A side, you can hide behind the default truck. There's those green boxes. There's that bench over there. There's the pocket towards the A side that you can hide at. Talking about the B side, even there's like the cubby, that small cubby close to the side tube. There's the tube itself and the back of the side. So these corners might become really hard for you to clear out just with like if you had Phoenix, for example, who had flashes, because only his hot hands can help you clear that out. While Raze can throw in the grenade, a boom bot, and the satchel, but just like this, Ember's gonna flash and make his way onto the B side. He's already over here. Does get spotted out by Rexy, who's holding a hookah, if I'm not wrong. They will. The spike has been dropped on side. Ooh, that's going to be detrimental for the rest of the round. This has called the rotations for the rest of the GodSquad. Rexy taking the second fight as well. Does get the kill. There's going to be two for him in this round. Hellranger gets one, and Hellranger is going to get his second as well as they clean it up.
Yep, really well played by GodSquad. A bit of a mistake, I think, coming in from God Particles to not check the hookah. Rexy just sitting in the hookah gets one, gets another right after onto Shivi. Just easy, and that's going to be huge because that was the buy round. For GodSquad, them getting the win that round means that they don't end up losing a lot in terms of economy, and they're able to stabilize themselves and get pulled through. Now though, something I talked about earlier is that GodSquad getting the momentum will be able to pull through. Remember guys, if you're loving the action, we've reached the semi-final stage of the first series of the TEC Challenger Series. So if you want to join in on the second phase, registrations are open down in the link below. Make sure to get your team together and join in. Now though, GodSquad taking it real slow with a very standard push. One thing different that GodSquad seem to be doing right here as Rexy gets caught out. Get one in return though. One like different thing is the Cypher on A rather than the Cypher on B. Instead opting to use that Sage barrier in defense onto B hookah. Just a small switcher which I find really interesting and keeps your opponents on the switch constantly. Now though, God Particles making their way towards B side, knowing that Rexy went down and thus so will his barrier in a matter of seconds right here. They're taking it really slow though, trying to get that push towards C-Long. Kappa and Brimstone on the side of GodSquad though also taking it really slow as they just stay back and wait in the corners. Cypher will be making his rotation with all of his utility left at A to just protect any sort of bamboozle coming in at A. Now, Amaya Sajin looking for a pick. The smoke comes out to try and deny, but Hellfire gets two, Kappa gets one, and then the Molotov just picks up Hellranger's clone, gets another. Huge win for GodSquad because this was the true buy round for God Particles. Having lost last round, they had to use all their money to get whatever guns they could this round. Having done that, now they are in the economy disadvantage and GodSquad just running it through with their tempo.
Okay, really interesting. Now Deathmaker has the operator. We saw what he was able to do with the operator on split when they faced up against Zeg Esports. It's gonna be really interesting from them. Kappa lining up this recon arrow that falls right on Showers, so it's allows Deathmaker to go for this aggressive pick inside Showers. That's exactly what's gonna happen. There's the recon that lands outside Showers, clears out everything that allows Deathmaker to aggress on the back of this. And that's, we know he's actually gonna pick up the orb, falls right back. He's one kill away from his showstopper, but the hit is coming in towards the A side. The Cypher Tripwire reveals it. Amaya Sajan is taken down. Hellfighter in Ulamps gets his second of the round. Will he know there's another member? Yes, he does. That's his third already. Two men surviving for God Particles. Hoax trying to recover the spike in Ulamps. Will get taken down by Hellfighter. Hellfighter and Deathmaker locking down the A side without any assistance required.
Yeah, so GodSquad is one of the few teams that have multiple members on our top 10 MVP list, as we know. They have both Hellfighter and Deathmaker, both showing exactly why they're members to be feared in this team. Hellfighter getting a quadra kill right here, just cleaning up on this elbow, people walking into him one by one, not exceptionally smart of God Particles, but GodSquad just sort of getting comfortable now. It's gonna become so difficult to beat them because the strategy coming in from GodSquad here to deny B hookah whatsoever through the Sage barrier and then to put all of Cypher's utility onto A means that God Particles, they have to literally just adapt in game because this is not something that God Particles, I believe, will be used to seeing.
Revealing area.
Kappa just holding on to the recon bolt, going for somewhat of a cross map recon bolt. I wonder where that lineup does land. It does land towards the long A side, towards the Shahs, and he's able to try to get a Hunter's Fury by Hawks, but not actually managing to get any tags. Just like that, ultimate down for God Particles as they try to make a push down B side. 2 members in B long and 2 members in B hookah, and they have to try to commit to this because their Cypher is 1v2ing on the other side, gets taken down by the op on Deathmaker. This is their buy round as last round was their ego round, and it's going to be really clutch. The neural theft coming out now from GodSquad, gonna spot every single member of God Particles out, and they have to try to back out. The question is, do they just fake the back out and then come back towards B, or do they make the full rotation towards A as Hellfighter is making the rotation towards B? B would literally be a suicide right now, given the fact that it would be a 4 versus 4 with the defenders all comfortable with their corners. God Particles though perhaps taking it a bit too slow, and run it back does get popped out for Ember CS, takes down the camera and the drone, gets spotted out but doesn't actually get any information as to their whereabouts. Now they have to all step through, and the recon both spotting every single one of them out. Not looking good for God Particles at all as they get 3 Ember CS answer bags into Kappa, but 4-2 for GodSquad. They lost the first 2 rounds but winning the next 4 in back-to-back fashion. Absolutely beautiful.
Ooh, Logista's smoke towards elbow actually missed and had a gap that, if I'm not wrong, Hellranger used to exploit and to get knocking the kill onto the Phoenix round back, but he also uses to get another kill just as the Sage wall goes down. We'll see it right now. He gets 1 kill from elbow. Yep, so that's what happens. That gap is in smoke. We know GodSquad are going to exploit things like that. So it's a really stupid mistake coming in from Logista, but they are hoping to see if they can get this buy on to, like they can convert this round, because a 5-2 scoreline, it's just gonna edge away slowly, and it's gonna let GodSquad stamp their mark on this map. We do see Ember CS trying to make his way into the slower, buying a lot of time for him. They look at Shivil now. He's not gonna peek that single angle at all. That he knows, he expects Deathmaker to come and hold with the operator. So that's just gonna make taking map control harder for God Particles. Rexy holding this close under hookah position with his slow orbs and utility. Another slow orb that will buy more time. This time they'll fall away from hookah. There comes the Brimstone ultimate. Will not connect on anyone, but that's just going to push them away. In the meanwhile, the execute is coming towards the A side. Hellfighter and Deathmaker, the duo, will be left on their own to be able to lock this down. Shivi jump spotting to see if they can get anyone. Logista lines up his smokes towards the A side. He does also have his ultimate, but even Deathmaker has a slow stop, but just as the Cypher goes down, he gets one. Throws in the boombot, which will definitely spot another member, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it does. That's going to give him the information about the other member. Hellfighter does get one. Deathmaker's going to get 1-2. Hellfighter through the smoke, gets his spam, and Deathmaker with his 3rd. This is the second time God Particles tried to attack towards the A side, and Hellfighter and Deathmaker just said, nope, not happening today. And without any assistance, they just got all the kills.
I think a large part of the issue here is that God Particles doing exactly what GodSquad expect them to do. GodSquad calling them out on their plays every single time, simply not working out for God Particles whatsoever. They're trying to play very standard, something that simply will not work against a well-oiled machine that is GodSquad, and getting caught out playing standard every single time. Really interesting camera positioning here to try to just get a full range. Shivido does get wallbang kill onto Deathmaker with just the Sheriff, and Now they're going for the hard push down B with their eco round right here. The Hellfire does come down, Brimstone ultimate, but doesn't actually get any kills. Does get a lot of damage out of Hellfighter though. And 4v4, but Hellfighter down a lot of health with the spike being planted and a part of A site being taken by God Particles. If they manage to able to pull through this round, this would be an amazing thrifty round for them. GodSquad though now all rotating, all towards the same tide. Shock Dart coming out to try to get some damage, doesn't get any. Recon drone just trying to spot someone out, but Amaya Saijin with the orb gets both the Hellfighters and the Hellranger. Rexy gets the answer back on to Amaya Saijin though. So it's still really close as GodSquad actually down a man, but Rexy gets another. Rexy gets one more against Logista, makes it 1-for-1 for his team. Puts up the wall, tries to get the defuse, but there's a hole, and he spots it, and he goes for the kill, but that won't save him enough time to try and go for the defuse. So well played by God Particles to pull through that Rifty round.
They're gonna be really happy with that. Not only was it an expensive round economically, they also baited out the resurrection, which can be really important in the buy rounds. Rexy using it to bait out his teammates, gets the kill onto that, but Logista finishing off Hellfighter's like body justice was coming up. Rexy does connect the kill, but the time on the spike had ticked away way too far for him to get the defuse, and he gets taken down with the spike as well. 5-3, really good round coming from God Particles, as they they got that early round pick up on Deathmaker with that Sheriff, which really turns things around. Kappa though pushing B long right now, spots the Sage, and that's the spike. It's gonna be really interesting to see how God Particles are going to try to work their way around this one, because they now have to waste the utility to try to get the spike back, which they could have used out for the retake. They will be able to get the spike out now. Kappa still holding this angle towards B-Long, but chooses to fall back from that aggressive fight. We do see two members lurking towards the A Showers region, and that's exactly what Deathmaker is expecting. He is holding the operator towards the angle. One good thing about having the Cypher set up towards the A site is that it allows you to solo out the A site with a player of Deathmaker's caliber. You know that you can allow him to hold the A site solo with the operator, and the tripwires can be used to get kills. Rexy and Kappa, Ember takes down Rexy, and Kappa will take out Ember as well. So it's a 2-for-2 trade. Deathmaker with the operator lines his first shot up. Here's the player behind him, but Logista. Ooh, the timing on Deathmaker as he turns around and just gets that kill. The Cypher camera does spot out both members. Now the spike will be going down at any moment. Hooks does have the spike with him. Takes the plant to bait out any peeks coming in from GodSquad. It doesn't see anyone, but Logista is going to get taken down from Kappa, who that now leaves Hooks in a 1v3 situation on the default spike plant position, and Hellfighter will take him down as well.
Yeah, right there, the Sage getting caught out on the side of God Particles cost them a lot of time, as you mentioned, because they had to use a lot of utility to try and get the spike back rather than go for the push, forcing them to lose another buy round. And this is looking so comfortable for GodSquad, but God Particles showing moments of brilliance, right? It's just about being consistent. So if you were God Particles now, like what number would you find good enough to go into the defensive side where you know you're much more comfortable?
If they manage to get something like 5 rounds or maybe in 4 rounds, they're gonna be happy with that. But Rexy doesn't look like he wants to give that. He gets raided by Ember, but there is Kappa holding below this hookup position. They will fall back from the B side push because they have gotten the extra kill, but that also baits out the rotation from Hellfighter. The Neural Theft pop will force them to change into positions. Deathmaker falling back towards the back of side. Just as I say that, Hellfighter and Hellranger are gonna get kills each. That leaves Chevy alone in a 1v4 situation with the Phantom and light armor. He doesn't have any utility on hand, like no Cypher camera that's gonna come back in the next 20 seconds, and no cages that he can use. So he does spot Hellfighter, will get the kill onto him, does get taken down to 56 HP in the process, as you know. But Kappa, yes, he does Kappa, landing those shots through the side tube, but Hellranger is there to get the kill as he jumps out of hookah.
Yeah, really well played by GodSquad once again. God Particles trying to switch it up with a hard rush down be short and not actually managing to pull it through, because GodSquad so comfortable in just holding their positions, waiting. Multiple ultimates as well used by the side of God Particles and Neural Theft particularly to try and get some information, but the information not actually giving dividends, as Hellfighter just managed to get a couple kills for himself. And now once again God Particles trying to switch it up. We take a quick look at the scorecard, notice that how low God Particles are on the bank side. This is going to be that last buy round that in this first half that they really need to win. If they are able to win even this round, it will be absolutely huge for them, because as you said, even 4 points going into the defensive side is pretty decent and something that they would be content with, if not happy. Now God Particles though trying to make a push down Belong will get a few tags, getting them that small health advantage. Instantly healed up by GodSquad, by Rexy, and now they're going to try to make this hard push. Rexy just sitting under the window waiting. Let me hear a step, let me see an ability. He sees just that, puts up the ball instantly, throws a slow. Just the idea being to delay as much as possible. The shock dart now going to get lined up for I assume Belong, as I really wonder if God Particle just take this portal and shift all the way back to A. That would be a really smart move, given how well set up GodSquad are on B side. No, but God Particle's actually just electing to try to make that push, as Ember CS goes down window, uses the run it back, but not actually going to make it work. Hellfighter gets one on Ember CS as Logista answers back onto Rexy. Now they're going for the hard beat push with multiple members on site. Hellfighter gets another, but Logista answers back with 2 more, and Amaya Sajan with 1. 3-1 for God Particles in their buy round. Absolutely huge. Just the op on Deathmaker left. Can he clutch through 1v3? He cannot, as he's distracted by the Cypher Cage. Well played by Shivi to make it 7-4 and give them a fighting chance going into the last round of the first half.
This is really good that they did win their aim duels over here, because that was really, really important. They did let the time cut out really close. There was like close to 30 seconds left before they ran onto the side. Let's see how this last round pans out. Deathmaker was too fixated on the Cypher Cage. He was expecting someone to towards the back of the side to be waiting holding the angle just as the Cypher Cage went away, but there was the push coming in inside the smoke. Amaya Sayan using those cages, using the slow up to deny the A long push, but look at this. They have swapped the setup, the solo man towards the B side, but look at Hellranger. He's making the rotation back towards the B side to help his teammate, and that's exactly where the hit is coming through right now. They are going to jump through. There comes the flashbang. The tripwire should go off as they try to make their way onto the side. And Hellfighter is gonna get his first kill onto Hoax. Hoax does get revived. The wall gets broken down as well before they can execute on the B side. Hellranger does have his ultimate that he's gonna be popping onto the default spike position. Doesn't get anyone. Hellfighter gets his second off the run onto Ember, who was trying to get the aggressive pick onto him at the yeah, the showstopper comes in. That's gonna connect onto one member. That leaves everything on the Cypher, who's the lone man inside Hookah right now. Shivi trying to see if he can do anything, but there comes the ultimate that's gonna reveal where they are. Rexy jumping for this kill. Will get Rexy, but Hellfighter is there to close it up.
8-4 to GodSquad going into the second half. Looking really good for GodSquad, but I'd say not as bad as it could be. For God Particles, they still look like they've got a fighting chance to come back into this game, moving into their defensive half as they try to make a mark for themselves, show how consistent they can be while holding. GodSquad though, we know how aggressive this team can be and how creative this team can be, so they will be just as comfortable on the attacking side. Guys, remember, if you're enjoying the action, we are streaming every single series in the TEC, LG Ultragear TEC Challenger series at this point. Remember to like, subscribe, and press that notification button so you can get constant updates on our streams. Now though, we see 2 light shields on the side of Rexy and Kappa for GodSquad, as the rest just carrying ghosts.
Let me find you.
They're slowly going to try to make a push towards A side with just Deathmaker on B side. The aggressive push will come from God Particles in B short. Will they find each other?
The Squadron doesn't spot him, but Deathmaker's gonna take it out anyways. The flash comes through, will connect on Deathmaker. He's now a Deathman walking, should be taken down in an instant. But as I said, he gets one. Will it be able to connect on the second? Nope. Gets traded, but in the meanwhile, they are looking to aggress towards the A side, because that's where we see 4 members of GodSquad position. Hellfighter making his way towards the B side, trying to, see what he can do with the lurk. He's gonna be met by Shivi, who's the lone man standing. They are still looking to aggress with the Showers position because we see Hellranger, Kappa, Rexy, and Hellfighter have all made their way now. Hellranger holding inside the Showers, and he's now gonna line up his smokes so that they can execute inside. There comes the recon dart. Will it spot the Brimstone? Yes, Logista will get spotted. Throws in the Molotov to buy some more time for himself. But he will be taken on by Hellfighters. Wait his way inside shot. MASA and is going to get backed up by Hoax, who gets one as well. 3v2 situation. As make that a 2v2 situation. Make that a 2v1 for just Rexy. 25 seconds on the clock for Rexy to be able to make this work. He just used the heal, so there's going to be extremely long cooldown of 30 seconds on it before he can use it for this, making all the sound. Will pick up the ghost. That's going to be one really good thing for him in this round because we know how bad the classic is. Peeks in towards CT and Shivi will take him down. Good round for Shivi, gets 3 kills. First kill onto Deathmaker towards outside the hooker position, and then he just get 2 kills on the A side as the executors coming through.
Yeah, given the fact that Shivi got 3 kills right there, I do wonder if he goes for the second round. Phantom, like going for the full-on gamble and trying to just get that snowball going for God Particle, something that they desperately need to pull the score lead back in their favor. 8-5 though. To God Particles. Once again, they win the pistol round and set themselves up for really well for the second round of the half. Something they did in the first time too, so let's see what they can get done. Eco round, as you can see, coming out for GodSquad. The barrier comes out on a shot, denying any sort of entry from GodSquad, saving so much time as they now have to shoot their way through if they want to continue. The shock dart to just sort of delay them and hurt them if possible as much. Just like that, GodSquad haven't stopped in their tracks, and considering that it's their eco round, they wanted to just go for the hard rush and take the short range gunfights as much as possible. Now having to take it slow while God Particles are set up in their angles, it looks like it might just be a comfortable round for God Particles. Cypher now slowly rotating his way towards A site, still expecting the A push, not expecting God Particles actually rotate. The smoke comes through as they try to make the hard rush. The pain grenade almost taking down Hoax, just 11 HP left. Multiple members go down for GodSquad though, making it 4v2. Amaya Sachin gets his third, and just Rexy left once again with his heal this time, Albe. And now without the spike, he won't be able to do much. Just trying to get as many picks as he can on this classic, but multiple members holding that angle, he won't be able to do as much. Slowly just backing out is God Particles. Don't want to give up any unnecessary kills, letting the full health members take the fight. Ember CS gets the kill back onto Rexy. 8-6 for God Particles, and this third round is going to be absolutely clutch because in the first half they lost this third round and set GodSquad up to take back-to-back rounds. If they win this third round, they pull back the lead to within 1 point and also put GodSquad in a really bad economy stage.
This is going to be the first battle that can be really critical. If God Particles do manage to win, then it gives them an opportunity to even the scoreline out. But GodSquad are going to have the weaponry advantage since they were obviously going to fully invest in this. Kappa does get spotted on the B long recon. That's going to prompt out the rotation onto the B side from Shivi. It doesn't look like they are coming towards the B side because the spike has been left behind, so they're looking to see if they can get early round information. There comes the shock. There comes the drone, which will prompt Ember to push, but Kappa is there to get the kill on him. Hellfighter gets the kill onto the person rotating from the side. There comes the execute onto the B side. Hellfighter is gonna make his way from Showers all the way to the B side and will pick up the spike on the way. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. Deathmaker in the meanwhile pushes in towards the elbow position, will take out Hoax. That's gonna leave it all on MISA, and that's gonna be a 1v5 situation. Him against the world, make that a 1v4 just as I say that. Recon will expose him. The Sage Wall is there to buy some time as well. They are going to get the spike down. He's obviously expecting this angle on the members sitting on top of the side tube, making his way towards the elbow position, inching, looking to see if there's anyone looking to peek him. Just as he turns around, Kappa peeks and lands the headshot on him. 9-6.
So I have to question the decision coming in from God Particles here, wherein they use the Sage barrier on a shot. and then also put all of Cypher's utility onto A shot, leaving B side completely exposed, taking a huge gamble on their prediction that GodSquad would go A side again. GodSquad instead elects to go B side into a completely free open site. No Sage barrier, no Cypher trap wires, no Cypher camera, nothing whatsoever protecting B side, just letting GodSquad in the round that they desperately needed to win, giving them the buy round once again on this game, making it 9-6 and not letting God Particles get close to them whatsoever. A really weird decision coming in from God Particles in my opinion. Now though, Cypher with his utility will be down at B side, but he will get caught out with the 4-man push coming in from GodSquad as Hellfighter gets one on the other side onto Ember CS. Now GodSquad with the man advantage, looking just like they did in the first half of the game. Rexy answers back with another onto Hoax. Deathmaker with 2. And now GodSquad with that 5-1 man advantage will be able to easily take out God Particles. This was the eco round for God Particles, as you may have noticed. Multiple members on the Ghost, Logista on the Shorty. Not really expecting to get something done, trying to save their money for the next round, which will be the buy round. But that last round decision basically cost them 2 rounds. Not something you want. Oh, he turns at the last moment. But yeah, not something you want to take a gamble with when you're already multiple points down against a team like GodSquad.
Definitely, we do know that GodSquad are going to be in a relation if they get the advantageous position, if they get that early round pickoff. So really interesting to see how the next few rounds will pan out for both teams, because these rounds will decide the fate of the whole map. Because in the scoreline of 10-6, if God Particles lose 1 or 2 more rounds, it's gonna cut it really close to overtime and potentially giving GodSquad the first map, which is not something you want to do while going into split. In the last series, GodSquad actually lost split to Zeg, so if that's something God Particles are banking on, would be really interesting to see how they play out the split against them. But we do know how strong GodSquad are on split. Just as I say that, Shivi's gonna get the kill with the operator on to Deathmaker. That means no more paint shells. That could be really interesting to see how that pans out for the rest of the round. Rexy is still in the shower position, looking to see if we can avenge Mate's death. They have stacked out with 3 members towards the B side, even though they have the Cypher, and just as I say that, there is going to be a rotation coming in from Host and Shivi towards the A side again. And that's going to be a 4-member A stack with just Ember alone with the Cypher traps to handle the A side. Handle the B side, excuse me.
They're just 1 man down GodSquad though at this point. God Particles trying desperately to pull it back, and as you mentioned, GodSquad losing a few rounds got it too close to overtime and just sort of give God Particles their way back. On the same side, Kappa getting 1 and Hellranger getting another as the spike gets dropped, gives God Particles once more the even advantage in their favor. Spike getting planted by Hellranger, 3 versus 3 with the health advantage to GodSquad. Now the man advantage to GodSquad as they get another. Looking really unfavorable for God Particles, about to lose in their buy round, go 11-6, basically making it 12-6 and forcing them to clutch through back-to-back rounds from 12-6 if they want to pull it back. About the point regarding Zeg taking split, yeah, for sure. We've seen a team already take a map off of GodSquad in what is considered their home, but that just makes me believe that GodSquad would have gone back and be like, why did Zeg just beat us? We have to figure out everything possible and make sure that split is literally our fortress, because nobody's ever taking a game from us on that ever again.
Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard with this round win coming in from GodSquad. That's gonna... I'm guessing Deathmaker is drop hacking. Ooh, Hellfighter in this round, 24 kills. He did have those really nice holes. Shivi, on the other hand, leading the charge for GodSquad with 10 kills in his name. Kappa does get spotted with this recon, and he's gonna spot one out as well. Just as that, Deathmaker gets 1, and Ember will trade him out. He gets 2 before he's traded out by Ember's Ghost. MISAN with the Sheriff holding towards the backlines of the side. There comes Hellfighter from the ULAM's position, creeps up, takes MISAN without any sound. There comes Shivi on the flank. He spots the second member on the flank as well. It's going to be an easy kill for Kappa. 12-6. It's going to be a map point for GodSquad on God Particles pick.
Yeah, not looking too great for God Particles whatsoever. That was their eco round though. This will be their buy round going into the last map point round. If they're not able to clutch through for the next 6 rounds back to back, then they just lose the game. All God Squad need is one game, just need to sort of make sure that even if they lose the next round, calm themselves down and go for it. In terms of ultimates, you see Hellfighter, Deathmaker, and Kappa have his ultimates, whereas 4 members on the side of God Particles with Ember CS just 1 point away from his ultimate. This could be the round to just give everything you've got and go for the win. Now you see God Squad slowly making the push towards B side. Do get spotted out though and will pull back for a second. But just for that, as the recon drone does go out from Kappa to try to spot somebody out, will not be able to actually spot somebody out right there. Folks just holding this corner, trying to get any information. Recon Bolt will spot him out. Hellranger gets the kill on him as the Hunter's Fury is popped by Kappa, trying to find any tags. Won't be able to find any tags, but Showstopper now out from Deathmaker. He throws it in, gets 1 kill onto the top fragger of God Particles. Gets Shivy, makes it 5 versus 3 in what is likely to be first map all over to God Squad. Or Hellfire does come out and will take down Logiska, leaving him trapped between a corner and a hard place. Nowhere to go. Hellranger takes down another. Rexy does revive Deathmaker just for style points and then takes out Ember CS to finish it off. 1-0 to God Squad in this best of 3. Going into their home map, looking really difficult for God Particles.
Ooh, this is really gonna sting God Particles, given the fact that this was their map pick 13-6. It's not really a respectable scoreline in my opinion. If you are looking to pick this map, I definitely do believe that the lack of Knight Rider coming into this has obviously impacted the way that the rest of this map has panned out. Hellfighter leading the charge, 25 kills, adds 1 more to his MVP tally. Deathmaker, Kappa, and Rexy are following up closely. Really good game coming in from God Squad. Really impressive how, despite the lack of a flashbang that was really worrying me towards the start of the map, they were able to play around it. So really interesting how they worked around it. Really showed that their prowess with working with the Deathmaker on the race, who's been doing really well with the operator in his hand as well.
Yeah, I think the strategy coming in was to just sort of let Deathmaker control A side with the utility. But let's relive the match and the plays of God Squad going in there with the AMD relive moment. Take a look at exactly what happened here. Because as I note, right, like the Cypher cameras and the trap fires all being used in A, I guess was to accommodate for the lack of a flashbang. Just sort of let Deathmaker sit and as you mentioned, utilize the small corners and her bombs and the boom bot to sort of with in combination with the trap fires to get multiple kills, which he was able to do multiple times over several rounds, right?
Definitely, I do agree with your point. Uh, I think the name of what God Squad strat was towards the A side is called Deathmaker Go Kill. And that's exactly what was happening. Hellfight and Deathmaker were locking on towards the A side. So, yeah, they did do a really good job. They are going to be really happy with this map coming into split. They've obviously fixed the mistakes they made against Zeg's split. So, looking to see how the rest of the map plays out.
Yeah, the idea is you either run towards death or you go to hell because every single member of God Squad just completely popping off. And once again, the fight between Hellfighter and Deathmaker for the MVP spot. Both of them go alternate one by one, getting the MVP for themselves, just showing us how good this squad has been. Now, though, going into map 2 for God Particles, as you mentioned, without one of their most important players in Knight Rider, just not looking so great because 13-6, while it may be a decent scoreline in the earlier rounds when you're facing up against the much stronger teams, it's not something that we are necessarily okay with in the winners bracket semifinals. We're expecting teams to just sort of step up to the mantle and to justify exactly why they've come all this far and to sort of just show their prowess in this game. On your home map, when you're not able to actually pick up many rounds on the defensive side, especially, it's not looking good for God Particles. They really need to go back to the drawing board and switch something up. Brilliant game by Hellfighter and Deathmaker. Let's see what they can bring up to in game 2. What do you expect for game 2 in Rex Streams?
Ooh, okay, so I definitely do hope that they can make a swap around. This time, really, we didn't see too much operator action coming in from them. I think Shivi was picking it up due to Knight Rider's absence. So the lack of an operator coming into games can really be like can really impact you. We've seen teams pick up dual operator setups on Haven, like we saw Rising Vipers Bravo picking up a dual operator setup, but that's on Haven. But still, right, we don't know how powerful the operator is. Despite being the most important gun, it can really allow you to hold one sideline individually, just as we saw Deathmaker doing towards the A side. They had the tripwire setup for him, and that allowed them to stack out 4 members towards the B side. That's something you cannot do with the lack of an operator. So that setup was really interesting to see. Uh, in terms of what they can do this time around with the operators, is since we know that on split they do like their operators, it would be interesting to see if they can bring in a breach, because in my opinion, a breach is the best counter to an operator. Like you can use the abilities to get operators out of those like angles that can be hard to clear without utilities. A race pick was also really nice on split, so that you can use it to flush out a Cypher who is holding towards that backside with his one-way cages. It would be interesting to see how they work up on split. What do you think about the split, CA? Do you think we're gonna see a split that coming out from like a Zeg kind of split against God Squad, or what's gonna happen?
I think that, as you mentioned, without the lack of something creative like the breach, it's not really anywhere to go for God Particles. Having said that, guys, we're going to remember just the Series 2 registration is open. So come show if you have the capability of a team like God Squad, or just come try out your metal with the group of friends. Registration down in the link below. Also, we're going to, while we take a quick break setting up for game 2, if you want to get any shopping done, we have a 10% discount code for you, delivered by the one and only JBL for the quantum gaming headsets that both me and Rex Streams are wearing. So go get some shopping done, use it to help your sound cues and just get better at the game in general. If you're enjoying the action, make sure you like, subscribe, show your support, and make sure you have the notification bell on so you can get constant updates. But that's just going to be from us for game 1. We'll join you back in just a few moments for game 2 between God Squad and God Particles.
Numerous forces aimed at the Earth. And injustice. LG Ultragear gaming monitor.
I never want to make compromises when I play. I need every FPS I can take to perform at my peak. For myself, for my team, as well as for my viewers. Streaming always used to present me with a choice, either FPS or stream quality. I no longer have to make that decision thanks to AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors. Now my viewers get to see my gameplay smoothly. Ever since joining the team in 2018, AMD's partnership with Fnatic has given us the latest computer tech to help our performance. 3rd generation Ryzen is now the pinnacle of multi-threaded processor performance, and it's a big step up from everything else I've used before. AMD have listened to our feedback to make sure they make the best products possible so that we can simultaneously play as well as stream at the best setting. That's why I use AMD's 3rd generation Ryzen processors.
Alright, welcome back to the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series powered by JBL Quantum Gaming headsets and AMD. We are back for game 2 between GodSquad and GodParticles. I'm CA, your host and co-caster, with Rex Streams, with my co-caster and analyst. Today, though, we are going to be seeing GodSquad on their home map, potentially going for the match win. What do you feel about that, Rex Streams?
So Split has been their home ground. They are really interesting. Let's take a look at the map screen. That's coming up on your screens right now. So GodSquad did win on Bind. It was quite a domination coming in from them, 13-6 scoreline. Talking about Split, we did mention that it is their home ground. We are going to see a double duelist setup with Hellfighter and Deathmaker will pick up the Phoenix and the Raze, and from there we will see the rest of the team getting the Omen or the Omen, the Cypher, and the Sage. That's been their ideal composition on Split. I haven't really seen much of God Particles on Split in this map because we only saw them play it once, if I'm not wrong. I'm not quite sure on that. Talking about Ascent, that can be really interesting because I have seen GodSquad play this map earlier in the tournament where they won 13-1 score line. It's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of this map works out. What I really like about GodSquad is, if you've noticed, right, we have Rexy and Kappa who can both play the Sage and the Sova role. So on a lot of maps, we'll see them swap around between Sage and Sova. That's really interesting to see how that works out. On Ascent, Rexy picks up the Sova while Kappa will go after the Sage. So it's really interesting to see how they work with that. Taking a quick look at the agent compositions on the scoreboard, we will see the double duelist setup as I mentioned. Rexy sticking to the Sage, like you saw him. Kappa this time around going for the Omen, while Hellranger picks up the Cypher. So the two roles that are set in stone for this map on Split are obviously the double duelist with Phoenix and Raze. Talking about what we see on the side of God Particles is we're going to see an exactly same composition. We are going to see the double duelist on Hoax and Ember who go for the Raze and the Phoenix, and the Sage, Omen, and Cypher. So both teams have an identical composition. What do you think about this composition, CM?
Just goes to show how important every single one of these agents is in this map. Phoenix especially, not somebody we see on every single map, but I really like on Split because of the number of flanks you can pull off or the number of corners you can try to infiltrate. So really nice coming out from both teams. And yeah, I really like the point you mentioned, which is regarding the switch in Hellranger picking up a different agent and then Kappa going on to the Omen. And I really like the way sort of GodSquad set themselves up, not in terms of agents, but in sort of the role each player has in the game. Deathmaker and Hellfighter we always expect to be the primary fraggers, but it's really interesting to note how every single one of their teammate other than them sort of enables their playstyle and just sort of helps them be better at what they are. So really cool to see from GodSquad here, but GodSquad here is going to be on the attack, a little different from last time, and something that if they're able to get a lead on the starting, we know exactly how solid they can be on the defensive side, so it'll be really difficult for GodSquad. God Particles have to try to get the advantage here. Hellranger though gets the first gunfight win against MSCS. Deathmaker taking out another. Just picking up where they left off, the top fraggers from the last game. Kappa gets one more, making it 5 versus 3 in the favor of GodSquad. Remember, GodSquad was losing the pistol rounds last time. Hellfighter gets another and Deathmaker finishes it off. But yeah, GodSquad was losing the pistol rounds last time, and 4 out of the 6 rounds that God Particles picked up in the first map were the pistol rounds and their subsequent advantage rounds. Now with God Particles losing the pistol rounds, do you think God Particles actually stand a chance to pull it back in the buy rounds?
Ooh, okay. Like it's been a switch in the trend because last time we saw them win the pistol rounds. This time we don't see them winning the pistol rounds. It's gonna be really interesting to see how they work around the first battles because this was just a steamroll. They took the gunfights to them. Like they just ran in like without any respect for God Particles. This is exactly the God Squad we see on Split. It's gonna be really interesting to see how the rest of the map works out. So let's just get right back in. I can't predict anything because
Yeah, for sure. Very close game, irrespective of what the score says, because both of these teams are really good teams. They made it to the upper bracket semi-finals of the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series. So they both have the metal, but Hellfighter getting one. MSCS answers back with the hot hands onto Hellfighter. Eco round for God Particle as he tried to answer back in any way whatsoever. 2 versus 3, 1 versus 3 as Deathmaker gets another. Deathmaker fighting Hellranger. Hellfighter for the top MVP spot. Angry that he was not able to clutch it out last game. 2-0 to GodSquad as we go into the bye round for both teams. And an interesting point to note is that a couple members of GodSquad actually didn't even elect to use the win from the pistol round and go for the specters that we normally see. Sticking to their ghosts, just enabling them to go for a full buy this round.
Ooh, the pistol round rush, like just the classics towards the mid position is really interesting because we've seen it work quite a few times this tournament, but they are going to be prepared for it. They do get 2 kills on the back of it, so they do some economic damage, but that's just going to be more phantoms coming from them. Deathmaker sticking in the Spectre towards the B-main position. There should be the flash coming in right about now. Deathmaker is flashed. He should be taking down, but just as I say that, he gets the kill onto Ember. Will be taken down by Shvi. 4v4. They are going to be happy with that. Logista looking towards this A-main position, trying to see if he can get an aggressive pick. Does get spotted on the Cypher camera. Makes his way towards the attempt position, smokes it off to buy some more time. Hellranger actually looking to push inside the smoke. Logista definitely spots him there, but Hellranger will come out of the other side and kill Logista. That was really weird because they're dancing around the smoke and none of them were able to get the kill. The B side is currently open, and that's exactly why we see Hellfighter pushing in. He is looking to see if he can get a kill. The Shivi pushing up here will get Rexy, but gets raided out by Cap. A 3v2 situation. Hellfighter's already up in B side, so that's exactly where the spike is going to go right now. Amaya Sane looking to see if he can get the kill on towards this rotation coming in from it, but Kappa uses his shrouded step to make his way, so there'll be no cross coming out from them. He doesn't know if they've already made their way onto the side. Oaks inside the CD smoke. Does he know Hellfighter's right close to him? Uses the satchel, will spot him out. Hellfighter goes in for the fight, but there's Amaya Sane. He gets rid out. 1v1 situation. Kappa gets caught with his he's caught unaware. That's gonna be a 1v1 situation. Hellranger against Hoax. The spike has not been planted for him. He sticks the defuse and comes right off it to finish the kill after finishing the half spike defuse.
So the trend truly switched up as God Particles actually pulled through. Hoax specifically. Really nice satchel right here to push Hellfighter out of that corner, get him into the firing range. Gets 2 after getting it on Kappa. And then fakes the defuse right here as Hellranger walks. Steps up right in time to spot Hellranger. Instantly getting the kill onto Hellranger, clutching it through for his team in the buy round that they desperately needed. God Particles actually answering back makes me feel like this match could be close and something that I'm really excited for. Now the GodSquad completely switching up their plan as Kappa actually moves through sewers while the rest of his team tries to take control of B short. Obviously, the Cypher, as always, you expect to see on this map, solo pushing through A short, maybe even trying to get a flank or some peak kills. Now though, the bomb is
Joke's over! You're dead!
kills that they possibly can.
Got their omen.
I think we're facing... Oh no, just like that, we're back. Kappa gets a kill onto Ember CS. Hoax gets a return kill onto Kappa though. Hellranger gets another, making it 5v3 for GodSquad. Just like that, GodSquad now taking the full advantage to rotate all the way towards 4v3 for GodSquad as they rotate all the way towards A side. Having seen that Hellranger has taken full control of A side, a trapwire in place, his camera in place. Hellfighter though on B side still waiting for the rotation to come out from God Particles. Maybe catch somebody out right here as they think about going through sewers. They're not going to do that though. They're going to use the link. He does spot out the Sage, Amasai Jin, but he will walk through. Now 3v4 for God Particles. Hoax gets one. Hoax coming absolutely clutch in this map. Now 3v3 versus God Particles as they attempt the retake. Barrier is placed from Sage. Gonna come down. Showstopper from Hoax, trying to bait out any sort of member on that side. Throws out the Showstopper, but a little too late as Shivi ends up getting the kill. Sticks the defuse, assuming that GodSquad won't be able to make it on time. Can he do it? Nope. Hellfighter and Rexy make the rotation back and are able to clutch through, making it 3-1 for GodSquad.
Ooh, that's really close. It was unfortunate that Hoax had to waste a showstopper, unable to get a kill there because because the person at the back side that was Hellranger was taken down before before the showstopper could be popped. So 3-1 as GodSquad looking to close out split in an earlier manner to following the similar trend from the last map.
Yeah, for sure. GodSquad just seemed like the more consistent team, able to answer back through many possible options and avenues, as compared to God Particles, who need a few things like the first blood to go in their advantage to get the win. Now though, trying to make that early push, Hellfighter acknowledges that, throws out the hot hands to try to bait them out. Rexy and Kappa pick up one each on the back of that. Man advantage, especially with the Cypher on the side of God Particles extremely low, basically making it a 3-man advantage now. Omen 2 extremely low. Hellranger does find one, but Amasaijan answering back onto Hellfighter. 2v4 for GodSquad as Rexy revives Hellfighter. Eco round for God Particles though, so they're just trying to find as many kills and picks as possible. Now surrounded on both sides, can they find a kill for themselves? Hellfighter gets one. And Amasaijan answer? Nope, he shoots the pistol repeatedly but misses both shots and is not able to actually pull out that kill. GodSquad now making it 4-1. God Particles on the defending side losing too many points as GodSquad are just too comfortable for this map.
This is exactly what we were fearing coming into split. We know how strong they actually are on split, and losing line, that is your own pick, has really threatened all's not over for them. So it'll be really interesting to see how they pan out from the lower bracket, where they will go against one of the teams. I'm not sure who it is, but as I said, the Hellfighter gets the kill onto Mayasi, who's aggressing. The flash will come in, connects onto Shivi. Shivi will Ember will be taken down, but he gets the kill onto Kappa as well. The hot hands will come through to block off that heaven rotation. He does spot one member, will get taken down as well. It's a 4v2 situation. Just the Omen and the Raze left. Just as I see that Logister gets one kill onto Deathmaker, will get raided out by Rexy, make that a 1v3 situation. Hoax alone with his operator. Does have his pain shell that can help him, get a kill. But does he expect this player to end up towards the mail rooms? And the answer is nope. Hellfighter 4k for him in this round as he finishes off Hoax.
Yeah, really well done by GodSquad to sort of just pull through on this round. Once again, the buy round for God Particles and just as you suspect, as we mentioned, right, as we discussed, GodSquad just looking too strong on this map. We were hoping that God Particles could pull through a miracle like Zeg did to sort of just get that 1 point onto them, try to make it to their home map on Ascent. Having said that, it's 1-5. It's not, the game isn't necessarily over yet, but if there was ever a time for God Particles to start fighting back, it would be now, because you really don't want to go into the defensive side of Split against God Squad with such a huge disadvantage. You see the eco round once again coming out for God Particles. And in terms of the fraggers, you see Hoax actually having a really good game. Shivi from last time having a great game. But once again, for God Squad, it's Hellfighter, Rexy, and Deathmaker. I'm really excited to see Deathmaker maybe get a few more kills, because today it seems like Hellfighter's day to pick up all the MVPs.
So they are definitely, having some sort of friendly rivalry going on between the both of them to see, who wins, who places top 3 in the MVP awards. Because we do have awards for our MVPs. It's gonna be really interesting to see what happens. Rexy also pulling his own weight, like with the Sage. He's been playing really, really good, lights out in these last few series against Zeg on Ascent. He had a really good showing, locking down the A side with the Sage. Well, following what we saw on Bind as well, on Bind he had amazing usage of utility to back out to stop the Zuka pushes. The Sage wall slow ops are used perfectly by him. So definitely interesting to see what happens. 5-1 Deathmaker gets his trusty operator, will get smoked off, so he won't be able to rattle off a free shot for himself. Does have a showstopper available for him, so he can use that. They are trying to jump over the wall, trying to see if they can get early kills over here, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. Two members holding close with a judge, with a shotgun and the ghost. There comes the push from Shivi, Ember CS, who will take down Hellfighter with his ghost. Hoax jiggling in this angle. Hellranger definitely spots him out. So he throws out the satchel. That will definitely reveal his position. Hoax unaware that Hellranger has pushed up this close. Hellranger looking to take this fight now, opens up the cage and he will take down Hoax. That's a free A side for them as the rotations are coming through. This Neural Theft does get popped, reveal everything. Logista with the judge pulls up on A ramps, spots the boom bot, will take it down, which will obviously reveal his position. The spike is now making its way towards the A side. They've walled off the flank. Deathmaker misses his shot. That's going to be heavy on him. No, it's not. He takes down Logista, but Mayasin will take down Deathmaker and also is able to pop off the revive. We're in a 4v3 situation. God Particles have the man advantage. There comes the Neural Theft that's going to force Hellranger to back on. Throws in the camera to see what's happening. Rexy, though, in the meantime, gets a 2k. Will he make that a third? There's one person towards the CT position who's trying to see into anything. Hellranger spots him out, will go back into hiding, jiggle peeking this corner. Rexy gets his third for the round. Last member towards the heaven, and Kappa's there to finish off Logista. 6-1, GodSquad still in the driver's seat.
Yeah, God Particles really needed to pull through something this round, because now God Squad, even if they manage to lose the next 5 rounds, which I highly doubt first of all, but somehow, if that actually happens, then even going 6-6 into the defensive side for God Squad, they are going to feel extremely comfortable, especially considering the way the defenders have the advantage to hold the heaven sights on Split. So now 6-1, every single point they get moving forward is just sort of a bonus for them. You see them switching it up though, with Deathmaker actually making his way towards A side, perhaps going for an aggressive push with that camera. The Paranoia does come out and then followed by the dark cover by Logista to sort of deny any B push and enable Ember CS and the Cypher on the side of God Particles to push into B short and try to get something back. Running back is popped as he tries to get some information. Hellfighter 1, Hellfighter 2, Hellfighter 3 as he gets pushed back with his right back. Brilliant usage of the ultimate. Not something we see used as much for fragging as compared to actual information taking. Hellfighter using it really well. Staking his claim for being the series MVP after being the match MVP. Now 5v1 for God Squad. Logista does answer back, gets one. 1v4, it's going to be extremely hard to clutch, but he does have his ultimate. Maybe he can try to bamboozle them. Gets one more onto Hellfighter, but Rexy answers back. Makes it 7-1. I'm not sure what God Particles' plan is right here, because they seem to be playing really, really aggressive on a map where they could easily just hold corners and let GodSquad come to them, perhaps letting the pressure get to them. Because you see Hellfighter here moves in with his run it back, finds one with the flash, finds two with an Ember CS and Shivy, and then finds a third just sitting in heaven. That too, Amaya Saijin on the operator missing the shot. Just not working out for God Particles whatsoever in this game.
This time around, we see a 4-member stack towards the mid position. The Boombot will spot out Hellfighter, who will still be holding towards this mid-market position, looking to aggress and try to clear out this mid-market position. The wall comes off. That's gonna stop him for a while. Is he gonna jump on this? No, he's not. Hellranger actually gets the kill onto Logista. There's only one member towards the A side. That's gonna be Hoax, who is holding towards the A side. This one kill has baited out the complete rotation, and now B side's empty. There's no requires either. There's only just the camera. Just as I say that, there's gonna be 2 kills that have come in for GodSquad. Just a 3v5 situation. Just like that, Hellfighter gets the kill onto Ember CS. The flash will connect, but Amazing will get the kill on him. Deathmaker gets Shivy, and Hellranger will clean it up. 8-1 for GodSquad.
It's starting to look like a bit of an unfortunate stomp, to be perfectly honest, for GodSquad, because with just 3 more rounds left in the defensive side for God Particles, even if they win the next 3, 8-4 is just too big of a score to be going into your attacking side, especially when they struggled last time on their own map on the attacking side. Now they're taking a look at the scoreboard. Hoax, as usual, just having a great game, but not able to push past the 5 kills mark that he was at 3 deaths ago. They are going for a semi-buy with 1 operator, a Bulldog, and a couple Spectres. On the side of GodSquad, though, it's Deathmaker and Hellfighter just completely taking over the map and removing their opposition from it. The Shadow Step does come out. Shivy spots out 2 and gets a huge man advantage for God Particles in this round. Shivy gets another onto Rexy, something we've seen from him in the previous map before. He was the top fragger in game 1. Deathmaker answers back with his op though. So deadly on this op, not something you can actually be account for. Shivy gets his 4. Can he get the ace, get a point back for his team, sort of establish a silver lining? The spike had been dropped onto B side, so they have the knowledge onto that. Should be a comfortable round win for God Particles. Try to get as many rounds back as they can possibly in this first half of the map, trying to make a contention for the second half. Now just Hellranger versus 3 members of God Particles. It's a Cypher versus the Cypher looking for an ace. Which Cypher will prevail, we will find out soon enough.
Hellranger has actually made his way towards the CT position. I don't think they are aware of it. The spike has been dropped on the B side, and that is being guarded as of right now. Hellranger gets 1 onto Shivy, denies him the ace. Does he know about the member towards the backside? He's definitely spotting it. The tripwire will stop him, and Hoax will get the kill. Finally managing to secure another round for themselves. 8-2 though, still in GodSquad's favor.
Yeah, but that was huge, at least in terms of economy for God Particles, because they had a Bulldog, a Spectre with light shields, and then the operator Amaya Saijin able to win that round, actually save a lot of money for themselves. And Shivy just getting caught out right there, not looking. Shivy getting lots of people caught out right there, gets 3, gets 4, and then Hellranger answering back denies him the ace, unfortunately. 8-2 though to GodSquad. GodSquad are not going to be as bothered to it. It doesn't even hurt their economy as much because they have a lot of money saved in the bank from their back-to-back winning streak. God cover does come out as they try to deny any sort of push, and God Particles already a man down as GodSquad get 1. Run it back was used by Ember CS to try to get some information. He does spot out a couple members. Now Deathmaker making the hard push, instead choosing to rotate towards A and try to find anybody at the heaven side. Not going to find anybody. If he actually goes down and turns towards his right, he'll find Hoax right there. Both Deathmaker and Hellranger just closing in on Hoax like a couple of shocks. It's 4v4. Logista gets a kill onto Deathmaker with his op. Hellranger though finds Hoax, makes it 3v3 once again. The spike is at A and the spike is getting planted. Hellfighter finds one on the rotation to the A side trying to defend. Something I really like from GodSquad, 1 member is always towards mid side, just preventing the other team from rotating all the way over to the other map, enabling their sort of rotational playstyle and giving them the advantage every single time. MBCS though finds one more 1v1 versus Kappa. Can he clutch through? sees Kappa but turns around in the last minute. Kappa gets that clutch kill for himself, makes it 9-2. GodSquad just, even if they drop down for a second, they pull it right back up.
Really good run coming in from them. They are able to secure this 9-2 on the defensive half of Split. That is generally said to be a defender's side map. GodSquad are going to be really happy with the lead that they've generated for themselves right now. So it does look like they are going to make it 10 rounds to 2. God Particles, they should look to claw it back, make it a 9-3, something that's salvageable. Because a 10-2, if you lose the pistol, basically means you're fighting for overtime. Doesn't even leave that first buy round on the board for you that you can claw back. They have been restricted to sheriffs this round, but that's what we see on Chivy, the sheriff and the full armor. Looking to see if they can make something work with the weaponry they have. Just as that Ember with his Phantom is gonna get the kill onto Deathmaker, and there come 2 kills for them. Hellfighter and Hellranger are gonna get 1 kill each. Chivy though, Lone Man standing over here, does get killed by Kappa, who used his teleport to go across. 2v3 situation for God Particles as you see Logista over here. Amayacian does pop the revive. Hellranger has made his way towards the heavens position. Does he spot Logista? Oh no, he does. This is going to be absolutely monumental as Logista doesn't get spotted out in the A heavens. Amayacian gets one for himself as Kappa gets one onto Ember as well. Hellranger is going to get the kill onto Amayacian as well. That leaves it in 2v1 situation for Logista.
I think Sagesta might be facing
yeah.
some technical issues right here as we see him just stay in the same position for too long, enabling GodSquad to just walk it through to B and get that spike plant. Just unfortunate for God Particle, just piling on the misery, to be perfectly honest. And as you mentioned, right, going 10-2 into the second half leaves you literally zero room for mistake. You lose the pistol round, put yourself in that disadvantageous position, and potentially end up making it 12-2. You have to clutch every single round, not just the buy round from there. Try to make it. Hellranger eventually rotates, finds Logista. Easy headshot on that stationary target. Gets 3 kills for himself, and now it's all about this pistol round because God Particles really do need to win this pistol round and then win the advantageous round and then win the buy round to sort of just get a small sort of breather for themselves and try to fight back.
10-2. If this pistol round is where it all matters, as you said, right? If they manage to lose this pistol round, they're fighting for overtime, and then because the anti-eco also, unless until they pull out a really good force buy, they won't have that as a caution as well. Hellranger setting up with the Cypher traps towards the B side.
This goes here.
Default Cypher position. Throws in that one-way cage as well. Will be holding from the backside where we see they are opting in for a 3-member towards the mid position with Deathmaker towards the ropes and 2 members towards the heavens position, towards B heaven.
It's going to be interesting to see what exactly God Particles do elect to do here. We have a quick pause as we figure out exactly what the technical issue for the side of Logista is. So it's really interesting to see GodSquad's setup. As you mentioned, the Cypher standard B setup, but only Kappa holding down A, as Deathmaker actually fluctuates between A mid site and A itself. 2 members at B heaven, with looking like they're going to make an aggressive push down B mid, echoing something that we saw from them in the first half, which is just make that aggressive push with the pistols and take the gunfights to your position, knowing that you are likely to win the gunfight because of just pure skill. So GodSquad really interesting in their strategies here, and something that at this point of the tournament, remember we are in the LG Ultragear TEC Challenger Series. This is Act 1 of 5 tournaments to come, and if you are interested in getting your team together and want to join in on the action, just see how you face up against the pros instead of just playing the regular solo queue. Come join up. The registrations link are open down in the description below. The pause timer is off, so we'll get started. We'll get right back into the action as we see a potential aggressive push coming out from Hellfighter and Rexy.
Now,
Where to set up shop?
So God Particles taking it slow. The spike is dropped. They will try to take gunfights right here, but they will not do so with the spike, making sure they can't get caught out. instead of an aggressive push, really smart by Rexy to just drop the wall. And you can see Deathmaker on the map going for the flank as Hoax finds one. Deathmaker on the flank will be absolutely huge if he can make it on time. Though God Particle's going for a hard push, potentially even rotating to A instead of going towards B side. MIS Hygiene finds Rexy, two-man advantage for God Particles, coming out swinging, knowing that this round is so important for them. That Maker still on the flank as God Particles now move through B Heaven, put themselves up in B side. The smoke coming out from Omen to deny any sort of entry from there. Hellfighter finds two though and gets taken down by MIS Hygiene. 3v2 now for GodSquad. Deathmaker on the flank from B-Long, but a little too late as God Particles have established themselves in defensive positions. Kappa at Heaven, Paranoia comes out, blinds him, and he will not be able to throw out the Shadow Step and tries to reposition himself and coordinate with Deathmaker as he gets one to answer back. Deathmaker got another on the side right there, making it 2v1. GodSquad just coming in absolutely clutch, even with the man disadvantage, and the huge flank coming in from Deathmaker actually taking up a lot of time, meaning that they were 5v3 for a decent portion of that game. Doesn't matter. They eventually pull back together, just come together and win the round for themselves, making it 11-2, potentially 12-2, and as you mentioned, Rex Beams, not a position that is like, let alone easy, one would say maybe even possible to claw back from. Yeah.
So that clutch comeback on this pistol run is going to be really impactful as 11.
Yeah, for sure. Like at this point, some sort of force by miracle has to come through from God Particles to pull that, but such aggressive gameplay coming in from GodSquad as Deathmaker uses the satchel to push forward, and Logista though finds one onto Hellranger as Hellranger answers back on Shivi. Deathmaker finds one, but Amaya Saijun answers back 3v3 still as you see Sheriffs for the side of God Particles. Do you think a miracle is possible, Extremes? Do you think God Particles can actually pull through?
Ooh, that's really possible given the fact we're in 3v3 situation. Make that a 3v2. Kappa and Hellfighter are gonna clean it up. That's becoming 12 to GodSquad. Map, series, and match point for them.
Yeah, now God Particles purely fighting for overtime, not looking so great. Let's just take a second though to talk about what can God Particles actually do right here. Like, if you were God Particles, what would you try to do in terms of the attack? Like, do you still try to hard rush because clearly that doesn't work? You try to take it slow because then Deathmaker will just flank you and kill every single one of you. Like, what is the plan going in for God?
I really can't answer that question. Like, GodSquad definitely know what they're doing on split. Like, God Particles are struggling because we see they've only won 2 rounds. Hellfighter and Hellranger are leading the charge for the team. So, let's see what happens with this potential final round. They are holding back the Yeoman aggressive smoke coming in towards their position. Will obviously find time for them. They have pushed up over here Rexy and Deathmaker satchels right into his death. MASA and is gonna take him down. It's a 4v5 situation. Hellfighter just as I say that makes it a 4v4 situation. Spikes dropped in T-spawn, but just as I say that Ember gets his to Rexy and Hellranger. That's out. That's no more round. That's no more anything coming out from them in this round. 12-2. Ember on site. Does he spot Hellfighter? Yes, he does. Hellfighter's actually going to get the better of him. It's a 3v2 situation. MISA in ropes looking to clear this out. The spike is making its way towards the A site where it will go down in an instant at any moment now because the A site is currently empty. We do see Kappa uses Paranoia perfectly, gets one kill, goes in for the knife while Chivy takes him down. 1v3 situation for Hellfighter. Everything is on him right now. If he clutches this out for his team, they are going into the upper bracket finals. Making his way from Heavens, there is no one over here. They are all holding side, ramp, and the under Heavens position. Lurking towards the screen position, trying to see if we can get an early pick off, trying to see if he can spot anyone. Spamming through the smoke, trying to see if there's anyone there, but there's no one. That's going to reveal his position. The Cypher Cage comes up, will buy some more time. He baits the sound inside the Cypher Cage, goes in that because that makes that sound. So he does expect someone to push, but Shivi, standing where he is, gets the kill on to Hellfighter. 12-3.
Yeah, well done by God Particles, just pulling through at the edge of the cliff, actually getting some points back for themselves. A little too aggressive, perhaps, from that maker, just straight up jumped in to the arms of a Mersai Jin, who's instantly able to kill him. Well done by Hellfighter, though, to get something back for his team. And now you notice that it's actually GodSquad on the semi-eco round with two proper builds and the operator, but the other two members on light shields with not full guns itself, like Spectre itself. But that maker just like, I will win this for my team. Gets one showstopper, get two. Oh my god. This might just be GG. 12-3 for God Squad with a 4-man lead. Deathmaker just taking complete control.
Did have the operator gets the aggressive pick off with it, then uses his showstopper, gets the two members with his satchel who were still holding the position. Shivi 1v4 situation looking towards the ground. I don't even think he has many expectations. Hellfighter though on the ropes, baiting out to see what he can do. Shivi does spot him out, will take him down, makes it a bit easier for him to pull this one out. 1v3 situation. Rexy though, he's right up in these ropes, trying to see if he can make anything work. Cypher Cage does spot out Rexy, will win the gunfight. 1v2 situations, really coming close now, but there comes the paranoia. He gets spotted, and Hell Ranger will finish him off.
Rip
13-3.
Just wow. My God Squad, yeah, 13-3, 13-6, just considering that this is the upper bracket semifinals and God Squad now moving to the upper bracket finals, and wow. We see Hellranger actually make it between Deathmaker and Hellfighter this time, as Hellfighter brings up another MVP from 360 average combat score, just sort of clutching through and pulling through what could one naturally expect would be the series MVP, moving on to the upper bracket finals for God Squad. We will quickly look at what exactly happened in that game through the AMD Relive moment. Just take a second to talk about why God Particles fell short, perhaps, or why God Squad are so damn comfortable on this map.
I think the reason they are so comfortable is because they have the double duelist setup down to the T. They exactly know what they're doing. Deathmaker and Hellfighter, continuing the domination throughout different parts of the map. They don't let the defenders rest. Like, if there is the constant lurk coming in, there is that something that always cuts off their rotation. It left God Particles wondering as to where they were supposed to look, as to what they were supposed to do. This is exactly why they're known as the Kings of Split. The both of them, like the Hellfighter and Deathmaker, were able to run riot through and just win the map for them. Really, really good showing coming out for them. Even Hellranger, solo lurking towards the A side, getting information for his team, getting those lurks off was really important to how they actually panned out in this map.
Yeah, for sure. Like they just split the other team up completely, establishing themselves up in this map. Do you hide from that maker? Do you hide from that Hellfighter? Because if you even manage to kill them both, then Hell Ranger, Rexy, Kappa, every single one of them just stepping up brilliantly in this game, trying to just get through to that upper bracket finals. Now, God Squad basically guaranteeing themselves a huge chance at making it to the grand finale by making it to the upper bracket finals. Because now, even if they lose in the upper bracket finals, they have a chance once again to make it to that grand final by dropping to the lower bracket. Really well played by God Squad. God Particles, though missing their key member, are not out of the series completely. They will be moving down to the lower bracket where they will have one more shot, one more opportunity to try to make it back to the main stage, the upper bracket. And now, like 2-0 to God Squad, and with God Particles moving down to the lower bracket, our next game for the day is actually going to be something I know the chat is going to be really excited for. Team Velocity versus Team Villianous, as Villianous tries to be the villains to Velocity's dominating run. That we will come back with that at 8 p.m. though, and to make sure you get continuous updates on when our stream is starting, make sure to drop a like and subscribe with the notification bell on so you can get constant updates. If you want to do some shopping while we go out for this break for setup for the next stream, we have a 10% discount code on JBL Quantum Gaming headsets. Both me and Rex Streams are wearing for them, and they are brilliant. So go out, get yourself some of them. If you want to get yourself up with these teams, try to make it to the finals for yourself, right? Series 2 registration is open right now. Go down to the link below and register yourselves. But that's going to be all for us for the first semifinals in the upper bracket. Coming through with the second semifinals in the upper bracket today at 8 p.m. make sure you're there.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young, baby, while we're
forever.